I am Melody Joy, and this is Melody Joy Quilts. I'm in my scrubs because I just got home from work, but the house is quiet, so I'm finally gonna do my unboxing video. I picked up a whole bunch of goodies when I was at the H&H Americas show in Chicago like a week and a half ago, and I meant to film this and I haven't had a chance, but I'm gonna show you what I picked up. I didn't buy a whole lot because whatever I bought, I had to get on the plane and fly it home with me. But I got some really cute things and some really fun notions, patterns, some accessories for bag making. So I'm really excited to show you what I picked up. The H&H Americas experience was amazing. I had some samples in a booth for Singer Fabrics. I had an official lanyard to wear at the conference. So this was my official lanyard, so people could scan this and it would link to my socials, and then people could follow me and I could follow them. I got to meet people who I follow on Instagram and YouTube and talk to other pattern designers and take a 2-hour business class, and it was just an amazing experience. But I also did some shopping. So let me show you. So initially when I was shopping, I was putting everything in like a little plastic flimsy bag, and then it broke on me, but I had already purchased these zipper bags for project bags, and it actually came in handy because I was actually used it right away just for bringing my items home from the conference. So this one is called It's All Fun and Games Until the Bobbin Runs Out. And if you've done any sewing, I think you know that that's true. These bags are really nice. They're like wipeable. They kind of have a plastic texture to them. They are a little bit see-through, which is actually great because if you have a project in here, you can quickly see what is inside this bag. It zippers shut. This was great for putting all my notions in to bring them home on the plane. I didn't have to worry about losing anything. And it has a cute little saying. This was called Purple Pineapple Studio Snarky Bags. That's the brand. Purple Pineapple Studio Snarky Bags. I got several of their bags. I thought they were really cute. I'm not messy. I'm creatively organized. I think my husband would just say messy. It looks like a craft explosion in here. I've had y'all zoomed in so you can't really see the periphery, but it's a mess in here. A creative mess. For example, I was making a t-shirt quilt for my brother. These are trimmings off the edge of the t-shirt quilt, right? It's proof of creativity. The other one that I really liked, it's not a mistake, it's a design choice. So if you mess up on a pattern, just tell yourself, it's not a mistake, it's a design choice. And I realized this K is backwards. Now, I liked this so much that I also got it somewhere in here in sticker form. I don't know where it went. Somewhere in here I have it in sticker form. Okay. I also met the owner of Snarky Quilts, and she gave me this fun little tape measure. We had a great conversation just kind of in the lobby. I think one of the best parts about going to a convention like that is meeting other crafters. Julie Axberg. Met her, talked to her, she's lovely. Got this little ruler. It's a nice little, I don't know how, get out of here. How do I get the plastic off of here? Let's see here. It's a nice little retractable ruler. And so when you click on it, it winds up. And so this is really cute, useful. Like I said, and I got to sit and talk to the lady who owns that store, which was the Snarky Quilt store. And just visiting with other people who are trying to get their small businesses off the ground. It was great. This is called, also from Purple Pineapple Studio, as purplepineapplestudio.com. This is called a quilt binding wrap, and they had it in multiple colors. And I actually stood there for a long time trying to decide which color I wanted to get. And I ended up getting this light aqua color, and I thought this was really fun. purplepineapplestudio.com. So this is so that when you make binding strips, I don't think I have any like on the table right now, but when you make binding strips, you can wind it on this. It's like to wind the strips around on. So if you cut your binding strips at the beginning of making your quilt and you want to keep it nice and neat until it's time, once your binding strips are prepared, you wind them on this. And like I said, they had it, it has glitter, sparkle, which is just fun. It's made out of some type of plastic or epoxy or something so that it's, I don't think it would be breakable or anything. And they had it in so many different fun colors. Like I said, I got this kind of aqua blue color and I think it's beautiful. And so I'm excited to use this. In retrospect, I maybe should have bought more of these because I think I have 4 or 5 works in progress right now. I have one quilt that I started putting the binding on, but I only have this small sewing machine right now. So I am waiting for my larger sewing machine to come back from the shop. And I got really frustrated trying to put binding on. And then I have another quilt with the long arm, and then I have 2 quilt tops that are almost finished. So I actually, in retrospect, probably should have bought more than one of these because I'm usually working on more than one quilt at a time. So I may go back and order more of these, but I'm excited about this. I think it'll be nice if I want to try to be more organized, which is always a goal of mine. I think this could be helpful. We'll see if it actually pays off and I get more organized. Okay, I guess Purple Pineapple Studio had a really cute booth. I got several things there. They had these laminated quilt pattern cards, and it's really nice because a lot of quilt patterns, you know, they come foldable or they're like folded papers in a plastic bag. This is one laminated sheet and these open up, but it's all laminated. It's really nice. It has clear pictures. And so I ended up buying 3 patterns from them. This one is called Astra. It's pattern for them number 2502. I think this is really cool. I was looking at this. It's not actually super complicated, but it ends up creating like, it looks like it's woven in between these star blocks. I was just fascinated by this pattern. I stood there and looked at it for a long time, and then I was like, I definitely have to buy this pattern. And it was very reasonably priced. So I got this one, and this one uses, let's see here. Looks like, where's the fabric requirements? You need a yard, 1 yard, 2 yards, 2.5 yards of different amounts of fabric, and it makes a throw that's 60 inches by 81 inches. So this pattern uses yardage. This pattern uses fat quarters, and I thought this one was really fun. And actually, it was a lot of people that I've shown this one to in my family like this one as well. My mom said it made her think of spools of thread stacked up, and my sister-in-law said it made her think of like a bunch of beach towels at the beach. So, you know, I don't know what, I wasn't sure what it made me think of, but I think I kind of agree with the beach towels. It does kind of look like maybe like thread or something, but it's super cute. But this one uses fat quarters. So sometimes I have fat quarters or just random bits of fabric left over. And so I thought this might be a good pattern. I think it would also be a really great scrappy pattern. So even if you had random fat quarters left over from lots of different projects, I think you could use them in this quilt top. This one is called Sock It To Me. Oh, so maybe it's supposed to look like the long socks with the stripes. This is pattern number 1706 from Purple Pineapple Studio. I'm definitely gonna be making this one soon. I think I will probably go into my stash and try to use scrap fabrics and stash fabrics for this, but it's written for fat quarters. The other one I got, this one is called Summer Breeze. It's their pattern 2406, and this one uses a half yard of 8 non-directional fabrics, and then you need background fabric binding. So this one also uses yardage, and it's really, it has almost like a square and a square effect, and then like a cross, and then like a diamond flower shape around it, and then you have like these cascading diamonds going down. The more I looked at this pattern, the more I was intrigued by the different shapes that were being made, and so this is definitely one that I want to make. And I probably would be more intentional with the fabrics that I picked, but it would also look great scrappy, I'm sure. This one, each of the centers are the exact same, but you could probably make that scrappy too. So those are 3 of the new quilt patterns that I got that I'm excited about. Okay, there was a booth called Renaissance Ribbons and Trim, and they had a lot of bags that were made with like Tula Pink fabrics and other really fun, vibrant fabrics. They had all these really fun, wavy, what is this called? Renaissance ribbons and trims, 1.5 inch two-tone wavy webbing. And then I also got matching wavy webbing from them in a 1 inch, a 1 inch and a 1.5 inch. So this is like for when you make bags or little purses or, you know, something to carry. And these are some of my favorite colors. They're very bright, very vibrant. It was so hard to narrow down, and I knew that whatever I bought, I had to bring home in my luggage to fly back to Texas. And so the hardest thing was controlling myself and not picking up everything in that booth. All of it was bright and colorful and beautiful. And but I got this. And then along with their webbing, they had matching zipper pulls to go on your bag. So you could add zippered pockets or zippered pouches. And this is the same colors. It's that really like a yellow, like a yellowy orange, and then a hot pink. And these colors are so happy. Also, in that same booth, they had ribbon packs. And this is also renaissanceribbons.com. This is the Woodland Park Designer Pack, and it's by Rashida Coleman Hale. And this one, yeah, the Woodland Park. It has these little animals. It has these flowers. It has, I feel like, very similar colors to this. So I am, in my mind, thinking I've got to pick a bag pattern out, and I want to use this for trim. Maybe not this one, but these other ones that have the yellow and the pink in it, along with this zipper pull and these webbing for straps. So I'm not sure what will come with that, but I had a lot of fun with that. Also in that same booth, the Renaissance, there were hundreds of booths. I couldn't have gone, I only got to go for 1 day. It was a 3-day conference. I only got to go for 1 day. So I know there's booths I didn't even get to. But also in the Renaissance Ribbons booth, they had these little tags for your quilts. So this is, you can add it into your binding, and this one says handmade for you with love. This is it in blue, but they also had it in green, and they have little candles, and they've got little cupcake ones if you're doing a birthday quilt for someone. I just think these are so sweet. And they also have it in other colors. So like this one's like balloons, and then they also have it in pink. So just little extra cute little notion tags. And I got another pack too. That one was more birthday and gifting. This one says more like affirmations. Every day is a fresh start. Make today great. Good vibes only. Thanks, I made it. I just think these are so cute. And they had a bunch of these different little packets, and each of them comes with 8 pieces. So this was the Good Vibes multi-pack, and this one was the birthday woven labels. But they had narrowing down my choices was the hardest thing. Okay, let me see. Okay, I also met and talked to Karen Abrahamovich with quiltvtshop.com, and she's also on Etsy. But what she does is she has patterns for every single state of the United States. Now, I live in Texas, and Texans love the shape of Texas, and so she didn't have her patterns for sale there, but she had the link to her Etsy store. But she has a pattern to make like a wall hanging or a larger size, like a throw size, of every single state in the United States. So if you live in if you live in the United States and you're interested in making a quilt, either a wall hanging or a quilt of your state, go to etsy.com/shop/quiltvtshop. And Karen was super sweet. I talked to her for a long time. We talked patterns, pattern writing, we talked quilting, and she was delightful. And then we started following each other on the different socials. Let's see here. Yes. Oh yeah, this was quilt patterns designed by Karen Abrahamovich. So what happens after creating, so she made all the 50 states, but then she also has made several animal wall hangings. And there is a cat one, and this has a bunch of her different ones on it. Yeah, so to order, www.quiltvtshop.com. And they come in 4 quilt sizes: small wall hanging or a pillow, a medium or large wall hanging, or a throw or lap quilt. So if you want to make your home state, check that out. There's my sticker. I knew it was in there somewhere. When my Bernina comes home from the shop, this sticker is going on my sewing machine. It's not a mistake. It's a design choice. I also met and talked to, I don't know where it is, but I have a signed copy somewhere of the Storybook Quilts by Slice of Pie Quilting. I got to talk to her. She signed my book. She was very sweet. Beverly McCullough with Flamingo. I don't know, the sticker doesn't have it on there, but I know I went and talked to her, and this was from her booth. And she designs a lot of patterns. I've made her Song Sparrow quilt pattern before for my mom as a gift. And meeting her, meeting people that you see online in real life, you never know how they're going to respond to you. But overall, I would say that everyone I talked to was encouraging and thoughtful, and I got some really great advice. I got to take pictures with a few people, and I mostly came away feeling incredibly inspired, but also accepted. And you know, I haven't been in the quilting space very long, but I felt accepted, and it was a great trip. I had fun shopping, I had fun networking, and it was really a surreal experience to see something that I made on display for like a brand. I'm still just like, pinch me, am I dreaming? Did this actually happen? But it did. There is picture proof, and I have my official badge. So I'm still just processing the trip and everything else. So that is what I got from the H&H Americas when I was there. And I also have a bunch more flyers and different things for other places that I saw. Now, when I was at work today, one of my patients knows that I am a quilter. So she brought me in this bag today of quilting magazines that she had and is not using. And she said, I thought you might be interested. These have foundation paper piecing patterns in them. And so these are the Quilts with Style. And she gave me these magazines, and we actually were able to sit and kind of look at them together. Once I got her infusion hooked up, she has to sit there for a while. So while her infusion was going, we looked through some of these, and we talked about some of the patterns in there. And there's some really fun patterns. Now, I've never done the paper piecing method where you have a diagram and you have to sew on certain lines. I've never tried that. After looking through some of these magazines with her, I did pick what I think will be my starter, because this pattern is called the Iris Chain. And it's these beautiful iris flowers. But when I'm looking at the paper piecing, the diagram looks pretty doable. There's some really intricate ones in some of these magazines. There's like a unicorn, there's a really cool penguin quilt with like snowflakes and penguins, and it is so complicated and there's so many numbers and lines to sew on. I don't know like if I'd even be able to do that, but this one to me looks actually doable for this iris quilt, and so I thought this would be a nice starting point to try to experiment with some paper piecing. And so if it goes well, there'll probably be a video. If it doesn't go well, there might still be a video. What did I learn from attempting? I don't know. But anyway, thank you for watching this video today. I hope it entertained you a little and maybe gave you some ideas of things that you might want to add to your home quilting studio, to your room, wherever it is that you sew. And I still just love this message. It's not a mistake. It's a design choice. Happy quilting!